Are all Russians our enemies? Let's answer that question. Are all Russians our enemies? Whenever I look at comedy shows, or whenever I look at news media, or whenever people talk about the Russian hackings, they say the Russians did this, the Russians did that, the Russians did this, the Russians did that. Now I think to myself, the Russians are made up of a lot of people. Most Russians are not hackers. So associating all Russians to a specific group of individuals as the Russian hackers, and even saying Russian hackers, I think that, that builds a certain connotation of adding that name to the situation. But at least it's healthier than saying the Russians. So I think that right now, during the investigation of whether the person that I shall not name, whether that person had association with the Russians, regardless of that, I think that there's a certain level of responsibility that we have towards the future, towards, associating towards something positive rather than belittling a whole entire country and a whole entire people by saying the Russians, the Russians, the Russians. I think I'm from Peru. I originally came from Peru. And I think that if I were watching the media and they were saying, the Peruvians, the Peruvians, the Peruvians did that, the Peruvians did that, the Peruvians, the Peruvians, I would think to myself, wow, that's pretty painful, and that's pretty horrible, and that's really not how we are as Americans, not who we are as Americans, right? I think that we as Americans are an exclusive people. As Americans, we are people that enjoy and embrace the cultural elements that are brought into the United States, and in the process grow from such an experience. And therefore, the Russians are totally welcome. Thank you, Russians, for bringing in your culture and your amazing gifts to the Americas and to the world and sharing them with the entire world. So during this time of investigation, for people to be saying the Russians, the Russians, the Russians, it's really not a social progressive thing to do, right? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful year, and especially towards my friends. There's 2 friends that I'm going to send this video to, 2 Russians that I love so much. Take care, and I wish you're both very, very deep and wise and powerful, and both of you, I love so much, and you really showed me. I want to go to Russia. I want to go to Russia because you have showed me an amazing culture. So, I love the Russians. I love the Russians. I want to wish you all a wonderful year. Take care.